I'm Shauna Applequist and I'm the Trek Director at Mountain Springs Church. And I just wanted to explain real quick what we're doing this year. Obviously, this year Trek's gonna look a little bit different, and I'll explain what changed in a minute, but first I wanted to tell you about what's not gonna change. So, like always, our goal is to help students learn the truths about God, about themselves, and about the world around them. We will be challenging your students to seek out answers and to develop a deeper faith. This year, we're gonna be focusing on the question, who am I? And we're gonna be doing that through this Trek book. It's called His Story, and it walks us through the entire story of the Bible. One thing that's super important for a student, especially right now, is consistency. And that's one thing that won't be changing at Trek this year. At Trek, your student will get that consistency with their Bible lessons and with their leaders every week. But more on that later. Awana is a super relational program, and we are not losing that this year. Again, it will look a little bit different, and I'll explain that in a second, but we place a huge importance on relationships, both with God and their peers and their mentors. Finally, we are still going to be having a lot of fun together. Laughter and joy is a gift from God. We are working very hard to make sure we're gonna have a blast in Trek this year. So, while things are going to be a little bit different, we can still look forward to learning about Jesus, gaining informed, or continue to work on those deep relationships with God, our peers, and our mentors, and we're gonna have fun together. Now for the changes. Buckle up! The roller coaster, let's strap in! We are still working with the church and the government to get things all settled, but here's what we're looking at. A blended model. This means that there will be both an in-person and virtual aspect to Trek this year. A time change. Hopefully you saw the email from the Awana Ministry Directors, but in case you didn't, Awana has been moved. We will now be meeting on Sundays from 12:30 to 2:30. A and B weeks. Our ministry directors felt it was important that each club can meet as a whole and isn't split up. But due to size restrictions, we can't all meet on campus at the same time. So we will be splitting up which clubs meet on which week. So the A week is Cubbies and Sparkies, and the B week is TNT, Trek, and Journey. Both weeks will be happening from 12:30 to 2:30. Even though there will not be Trek stuff happening on campus every week, we will still be meeting together as a club. There will be a virtual version of club happening every week to allow those of us who need to stay at home to protect either loved ones or ourselves to still get relationships, biblical knowledge, and fun from the comfort of our couches. So we're gonna break down the options and what each of these options looks like, but the great thing is you have flexibility. If at any point you and your family decide that you need to switch to a completely at-home Trek experience, we can help you get switched over really easily. There's also no more need to worry about snow days because we can go all virtual any week if we need to. Okay, so here we go. On-campus students. You will be on campus every other week, and we'll release the schedule later when we get closer. Your week is the B week. Okay, this is super easy to remember. B for Trek. This is happening from 12:30 to 2:30 on Sundays. You will be required to wear a mask when you're on campus, but you can totally have some fun with this. For example, there are plenty of ways we can make face covering much more bearable. The government believes that you are mature enough to handle this responsibility, and I happen to agree with them. So because of the masks, we won't be doing the traditional Awana games, but instead we'll be doing some other fun stuff in place of that this semester. Mr. Teddy, who most of you probably remember from last year, he was our awesome games director. He's working with some people to get some classes together. This semester you will be able to choose from a variety of classes to sign up for, like maybe an auto mechanics class, or possibly learn how to knit, or you might be able to learn how to tie knots so you don't fall off a cliff when you're hiking. There's a lot of options. I'm just saying. Parents, if you have any skills that you would like to teach, please reach out and I'll put you in contact with Teddy. Council time on campus this year is really cool because you guys are going to be joining the high schoolers. So large group and worship will be with the Journey students, and then when you break off into your small groups, you'll stick with the other Trekkers. Small group isn't going to change. You'll be in a group with other Trekkers and say your verses, discuss the lesson in the book or the weekly message, and share life together just like we did last year. Okay, so for virtual students and on-campus students, on that A week, and you can remember that because A stands for virtual. Okay, please go. Since this part is the biggest change, we're going to be spending a little bit more time explaining what it looks like. First, all students will be doing this virtual version of club on that A week. Virtual only student will also be doing this program on the B weeks. Since we don't have to travel from room to room, virtual Trek is only an hour long, from 1 to 2 on Sundays. Remember, this will be happening on both the A week and the B week. At 1 o'clock, there will be a YouTube premiere with a worship video and a video lesson, kind of like what we did last year in the spring. In case you missed all the fun we were having last spring, here's some highlights.
As you can see, today we are having weather, and tomorrow we're expecting more.
Really gross. I still burp horseradish. After this video, we will be hopping on the Marco Polo app, which is a pretty cool app suggested by Awana International. Tutorial on what this looks like in just a second. But this is the app that we'll be using to do our small groups and our fun activities. Each small group will have a different group chat in this app. So if you're on campus, you'll have the same group of students on A weeks that you do on B weeks. And if you're a virtual student, obviously you'll have the same group all the time. So you'll do your verses on this app, we'll play games like Boulder Dash and categories and charades, all that fun stuff, and we'll have some really cool discussions. So you're gonna get out your phone, and the way this app works is you have a camera. Hi! So it kind of explains the tutorial a little bit when you first get on the app.
You have to finish this before the first day of class. It opens on first day of class.
This is what the app looks like. You're just gonna press this button to record right there, and you'll be recording, and it kind of posts it live, so you can be watching it, or if you have like slow bandwidth and stuff, it'll just upload the video when you're done. And then everybody else in your group can also be recording at the exact same time, so you don't get that talking over each other and that awkwardness that you ended up with on Zoom and things like that. So it's halfway between a group chat and a video chat app. There's also some fun effects over here, like helium, and when you talk like this, it gets really high. And then if you watch it again, turn the volume up. You can also do like really awesome, beautiful filters that make your face look amazing. Pretty simple. And then you get to watch your friends' videos when you have time, and your leader can record your verses when they have time, and you don't have to worry on stepping on each other's toes, and you can see each other face to face, which is great. Okay, and I'm gonna stop that recording. You guys are pretty smart and tech savvy, so I'm sure you can figure it out. But if you have any questions, let me know. Quick recap in case you fell asleep. This year at Trek, we will be having a blended A-B week model. What does that mean for you? You and your family need to decide if you will be on campus this year or purely virtual. On-campus students will meet on the B week from 12:30 to 2:30. You guys will be wearing masks, and you'll join the rest of the Trek Club online on those A weeks. Virtual students will meet every week from 1 to 2. No matter how we connect with you this year, remember that you matter. You belong here. You matter to God and are so incredibly important to Him. You matter to me. I'm so glad you're wanting to learn who you are and how you fit the big God story. You matter to your friends and to your leaders here at Trek, and we cannot wait to get to know you or know you even better. Life is hard, but God is good. Learning about God and connecting with people who love Him is definitely something you want to make sure you find time for. And we don't just learn about God and make great relationships, but we have a blast doing it. Before I go, I want to read some Bible verses and pray over you guys. So, John 10:16. They will hear my voice, and there will be one flock and one shepherd. Trek is one flock, one tribe, and one family. We will be here for you whether you decide to join us on campus or online. Isaiah 41:10 says, oh my gosh, I opened Isaiah. Genius. Don't be afraid, for I am with you. Don't be discouraged, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will hold you up with my righteous right hand. We got this. Whatever you're going through right now, God's got you. All right, finally, Ephesians 6:10 says, finally be strong in the Lord and in the strength of His might. All right, let's pray. Lord, as we are looking towards the uncertainty of the fall and the future in general, we know that you see what is going to happen, and you will help those who love you. Help us to be strong in you, and help us to learn about who you are and who we are in you. Bless our meetings together this year in Trek, both on campus and in our homes, and help us be full of grace and joy as we enter the year. We love you, Lord, and I thank you for each and every one of these students and families. And all God's people said, amen! I can't wait to see all of you in the fall. Be on the lookout for more information as it becomes available, and don't hesitate to reach out with questions. Love you all. Bye.